There is an invisible danger by your side, and God wants to open your eyes before it's too late. This message can transform your life. Be alert. But before revealing this message, subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any videos. Continuing. In this exact moment, as your eyes scan these words, something extraordinary is happening in your life. Do you feel it? That restlessness deep in your soul, that persistent whisper you've ignored for so long. This is not a casual encounter. This is the moment. God is speaking to you. The signs have always been there, scattered along the path of your life like small lights guiding you to this precise instant. The coincidences that weren't coincidences, the recurring dreams, that inexplicable feeling that something greater is coming. How long will you continue closing your eyes to the call that resonates in your spirit? The time of waiting has ended. The time of denial has passed. Today, in this exact moment, a powerful light breaks through the darkness that has obscured your vision. Like the dawn that dissipates the darkness of night, this revelation illuminates every shadowy corner of your existence. You are being awakened to a truth that has always existed, but that only now are you ready to understand. Look around you. Do you notice how everything seems different now, as if a veil has been removed from your eyes? This is not a change in the external world, but a transformation that begins within you. A divine seed planted in fertile ground, ready to flourish and completely change the landscape of your life. The silent danger that has been by your side is not something external, not a person, not a circumstance. The most deadly danger is the spiritual blindness that has prevented you from seeing your true potential, your true nature, your true purpose. Complacency, denial, fear disguised as prudence. For years, you have been walking in circles, repeating patterns, accepting less than you deserve, convincing yourself that this is the life destined for you. But today, that lie is exposed by the light of truth. Today, the call is stronger than ever. Impossible to ignore, impossible to silence. You were created for much more than simply existing. You were made to shine, to prosper, to impact lives, to leave a legacy. Within you exists a dormant potential that, when awakened, has the power to transform not just your reality, but the reality of everyone around you. Like an eagle raised among chickens, you learn to peck at the ground, forgetting that you were born to dominate the skies. But today, the divine wind blows beneath your wings, inviting you to experience the freedom for which you were created. Do you feel that breeze? It's the call to rise above limitations, above mediocre expectations, above what the world says you can be. There is a storm forming on the spiritual horizon, but it's not a storm of destruction. It's a storm of renewal, a purifying rain that will wash away everything that no longer serves your divine purpose. The old structures must fall for new ones to be raised. The ancient mindsets must be dissolved for a new consciousness to emerge. Many around you will remain asleep, trapped in their comfort zones, fearing the change that approaches. But you have been chosen to be awake at this critical moment. Your eyes have been opened so that you can guide others through the transformation that is to come. Perhaps you're asking yourself, why me? Why now? The answer is simple and, at the same time, deeply complex. Because you are ready. Because the world needs what only you can offer. Because your journey until now, with all its pains and joys, with all its failures and victories, has prepared you for this moment. Every tear shed, every sleepless night, every seemingly unanswered prayer, all of this was part of the preparation. Nothing was in vain. Each experience was a brick in the construction of your destiny. Each challenge was a test to strengthen your faith. Each detour in the path was necessary to bring you exactly where you needed to be. Rebirth is never a comfortable process. Like a butterfly that must struggle to emerge from the cocoon, you need to break through limitations to emerge in your new form. The struggle is part of the process. Resistance strengthens your wings. Without it, you would never be strong enough to fly. This is a moment of decision. On one side lies the familiar path, comfortable in its predictability, safe in its mediocrity. On the other is the path of transformation, challenging in its uncertainty, glorious in its potential. The choice is yours and yours alone. No one can make this decision for you. But know this, the call will continue. It may be temporarily silenced, temporarily ignored, but never completely extinguished. It will resurface in moments of silence, in the spaces between thoughts, in the dreams that visit you during the night. Because it is not an external call. It is your own soul, recognizing its true nature. The silent danger by your side is complacency disguised as wisdom, fear disguised as prudence, doubt disguised as realism. It is the voice that whispers, "It's not yet time. You are not ready. This is for others, not for you." Recognize this voice for what it truly is: the enemy of your destiny, the thief of your purpose, the assassin of your dreams. Today, that voice loses its power over you. Today, a new voice rises, powerful, clear, undeniable. It is the voice of truth, the voice of your purpose, the voice of the divine that resides in you. And this voice proclaims, "Now is the time, you are ready, this call is yours." Like a seed that finally breaks through the soil after a long winter, your true nature begins to manifest. The process has been initiated and cannot be reversed. The transformation is underway and cannot be stopped. The light has been lit and cannot be extinguished. Do you feel the tremor beneath your feet? It's the shaking of old structures disintegrating. Do you notice the growing clarity around you? It's the fog of illusion dissipating. Do you recognize the strength growing within you? It's your true nature awakening. This is just the beginning. In the coming days, you'll notice subtle changes in your perception. Synchronicities will multiply in your life. Doors that previously seemed locked will open effortlessly. People who resonate with your new level of consciousness will be drawn to your life, while others, who belong to the old pattern, will naturally drift away. Do not fear these changes. They are signs that you are on the right path, that the awakening is occurring exactly as it should. Each separation, each conclusion, each new beginning is part of the divine redesigning the map of your life. The journey that begins now will not always be easy, but it will always be meaningful. There will be moments of doubt, moments of fear, moments when the old will try to regain control. In those moments, remember these words. Remember this call. Remember the commitment you make today to your true self, to your divine purpose. If you believe this message is for you, write in the comments, "I receive this blessing." This is not just a symbolic act. It's a declaration to the universe, an acknowledgement of your commitment to the transformation that is already occurring in your life. Now that the call has been made and you have recognized it, it's time to look within, not with the eyes of the body, but with the eyes of the soul. What do you see when all distractions are removed, when the noises of the world are silenced and you are face to face with your true self? Are you living the purpose for which you were created? Or are you simply existing, following a script written by others, pursuing dreams that aren't yours, living a life that doesn't reflect who you really are? These questions may seem uncomfortable, but discomfort is often the first step toward growth. Like a seed that needs to break its shell to grow, you need to break through the layers of conditioning, of external expectations, of self-imposed limitations to discover the truth about who you are. Imagine yourself before a spiritual mirror, a mirror that doesn't reflect your physical appearance but the truth of your soul. What would that mirror reveal? Would it show someone in harmony with their divine purpose or someone disconnected from their essence? Would it show someone walking toward their dreams or someone who has abandoned their deepest aspirations? The silent danger by your side is this disconnection, this abyss between who you are called to be and who you have chosen to be. It's the difference between a life of meaning and purpose and an existence of mere survival. Here it's the distance between the extraordinary that resides within you and the ordinary that you have accepted. What has been preventing you from moving forward? What are the invisible chains that have kept your feet bound to the ground when your spirit yearns to fly? Is it the fear of failure? Is it the fear of success? Is it the fear of judgment from others? Is it the fear of discovering that you are much more powerful than you ever imagined? Perhaps it's the comfort of routine, the security of the known, even when the known doesn't completely satisfy you. Perhaps it's the voices from the past, criticisms, doubts, disapprovals that continue to echo in your mind, even when the people who uttered them are no longer present in your life. Or perhaps it's something deeper, more subtle, the belief that you don't deserve more than you have, that you are not worthy of the greatness for which you were created, that your dreams are childish fantasies that should be abandoned in the name of maturity. Today, these lies are exposed by the light of truth. Today, you are invited to question every limitation, every inadequate definition, every smallness that you have accepted as your identity. You are much more than you have allowed yourself to be. Remember, you are not just flesh and bone, not just a body navigating through time and space. You are a spiritual being having a human experience, a divine consciousness expressed in physical form, a unique manifestation of the infinite. The circumstances of your life, your struggles, your pains, your challenges, do not define who you are. They are merely the scenery where your true nature can reveal itself. Like gold that must pass through fire to reveal its purity, you go through trials not to be diminished, but to be refined. Each obstacle you've encountered along the way wasn't placed to impede your progress, but to strengthen your determination. Each person who doubted you wasn't there to discourage you, but to test your conviction. Each closed door wasn't a rejection, but a redirection to the path that was truly yours. Think about the most challenging moments of your journey until now. Those moments when you doubted you could continue, when the weight seemed too great to carry, when the darkness seemed impenetrable. Somehow you survived. Somehow you found strength you didn't know you possessed. Somehow you continued. This wasn't coincidence. This wasn't luck. This was your true nature manifesting, even when your conscious mind doubted your capacity. It was the divine working through you, even when you felt abandoned. Now imagine what your life would be like if you lived constantly from that place of power, from that knowledge of who you really are. Imagine waking up every morning with the unshakable certainty of your purpose, with the conscious connection to your divine source, with the absolute clarity of your path. This is not an unattainable fantasy. This is your inheritance, your birthright, your natural state of being. All that is necessary is for you to choose to reclaim it, for you to decide to live from this truth, for you to commit to accepting nothing less than the full expression of who you are. Inner awakening begins with a choice to see beyond appearances, to question what you have always accepted as truth, to seek a deeper understanding of yourself and the world around you. It's a choice that you need to make each day, each moment, until it becomes your nature. It's not an easy journey. The path of self-knowledge rarely is. There will be moments when you'll face parts of yourself that you'd prefer not to see, beliefs that are deeply rooted in your subconscious, patterns of behavior that have sabotaged your progress without you realizing it. But each discovery, however uncomfortable it may initially be, is a step toward freedom. Each truth faced is a chain broken. Each pattern recognized is an opportunity to choose differently, to rewrite your story, to realign yourself with your divine purpose. And you are not alone on this journey. The same force that called you to this awakening walks beside you with each step. The same light that illuminates the path ahead resides within you, guiding you when the road seems obscure. The signs are everywhere, if you are attentive enough to see them. In the synchronicities that seem too coincidental to be mere chance. In the insights that arise in the most unexpected moments. In the people who cross your path exactly when you need their wisdom or support. Begin by paying attention. Begin by questioning. Begin by seeking the truth. Not the truth that others have told you, not the truth that is comfortable or convenient, but the truth that resonates in the deepest part of your being. The truth that you recognize as yours, even before being able to articulate it. Practice silence. In a world that values noise, silence is revolutionary. It's in silence that you can hear the whisper of your soul, the guidance of divine wisdom, the truth of your being. Set aside time each day to simply be without doing, without producing, without consuming, just existing in communion with yourself. Observe your thoughts without identifying with them. Notice how many of them are repetitive, negative, limiting. Notice how many of them aren't really yours, but conditioning absorbed throughout life. And then, gently, begin to replace them with thoughts that affirm your true nature, your inherent worth, your unlimited potential. Examine your relationships. Who are the people who elevate you, who support your growth, who celebrate your authenticity? And who are those who drain your energy, who try to keep you small, who become uncomfortable with your evolution? You don't need to cut people from your life, but you can consciously choose where to invest your energy. Reevaluate your daily choices, how you spend your time, your energy, your resources. Each choice is a statement of what you value, of what you believe you deserve, of what you are willing to accept. Each choice either brings you closer to your divine purpose or takes you further from it. There is no neutral ground. The journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step, and the awakening of a lifetime begins with a single choice. The choice to say yes to the call, to embrace your true nature, to live according to your divine purpose, not tomorrow, not when you're ready, not when circumstances are perfect, but now, today, in this moment. You have already gone through many difficulties, faced challenges that seemed insurmountable, endured pains that seemed unbearable, and yet here you are, still standing, still seeking, still evolving. This is not weakness. This is the indomitable strength of your spirit, the resilience of your soul, the determination of the divine that flows through you. If you have gone through difficulties but never lost faith, comment, "I am strong and I will overcome." This is not just an affirmation. It is a recognition of the truth of your being, a declaration of your divine identity, a commitment to the power that has always been within you, waiting to be reclaimed. Now that the call has been heard and the inner awakening initiated, you find yourself on new terrain, a territory where your faith will be tested, your determination will be challenged, and your true strength will be revealed. This is the battlefield where the old and the new collide, where the familiar fights against the unknown, where what you were resists what you are becoming. Make no mistake, this battle is real. It may not be visible to the physical eyes, but it is felt in the soul, experienced in the spirit, lived in every choice you make. It is a war for your destiny, for your purpose, for the full expression of who you really are. The enemy is subtle. He doesn't come with flags or announcements, doesn't declare his presence with trumpets or drums. He hides in the doubts that arise when you're about to take a decisive step. He disguises himself as the voice of reason when your heart impels you toward the unknown. He presents himself as protection when in reality he is paralyzing fear. Remember David facing Goliath. To the eyes of the world, it was an impossible battle, a young shepherd against a giant warrior. But David didn't see with the eyes of the world. He saw with the eyes of faith. He didn't measure his chances with the ruler of human logic, but with the certainty of divine favor. And armed only with a sling and 5 smooth stones, he did what seemed impossible. Or think of Gideon, called to lead when he was hiding, terrified by the enemy. A man who considered himself the least of the least family, chosen to be a powerful liberator. His army was reduced from thousands to just 300, not to weaken him, but to ensure that the victory would be clearly divine, not human. And then there's Joseph, sold as a slave by his own brothers, falsely accused and unjustly imprisoned. Years of his life seemingly wasted in circumstances he neither chose nor deserved. But each obstacle, each injustice, each delay was preparing him for a greater purpose than he could imagine, saving entire nations from famine, including the family that had betrayed him. Your battles may not seem as dramatic as those of these heroes of faith, but they are no less significant. The adversary you face may not be a Philistine giant, a Midianite army, or family betrayal, but it is equally real and equally determined to keep you from your destiny. Perhaps your battle is against decades of negative programming that has convinced you that you are not enough, not capable, not worthy. Perhaps it's against a system that seems determined to keep you in a box too small for your gifts and talents. Perhaps It's against toxic relationships that drain your energy and undermine your confidence. Or perhaps your battle is even more personal, against self-sabotaging habits, against destructive thought patterns, against the fear of failure, or paradoxically, the fear of success. Whatever the enemy, know this: you have been equipped to win. Like David had his sling, like Gideon had his small army, like Joseph had his integrity, you have specific tools for your specific battle, unique talents, special gifts, experiences that have shaped you, lessons learned through past trials. All of this is part of your divine arsenal. But the most powerful weapon at your disposal is your faith, not a vague and abstract faith, but a deep and unshakable conviction that you do not walk alone, that your destiny is guided by hands greater than yours, that there is a purpose behind every test and a meaning in every challenge. When Moses was trapped between an impossible sea to cross and an Egyptian army advancing to destroy him and his people, he received an apparently absurd order. Tell the people to march forward. March where? Into deep waters that would surely swallow them. But faith doesn't wait to see the complete path. It takes the next step, trusting that the way will appear. And so it happened. When they made the decision to advance, even in the face of the impossible, the waters parted. What seemed to be an insurmountable barrier became the very path to liberation. What seemed to be the end of the journey revealed itself to be only the beginning of a new phase. Your battle will require similar courage. The courage to advance when the path isn't clear, to persist when the forces seem unequal, to maintain faith when visible evidence suggests defeat. This is the courage that doesn't deny fear but faces it, doesn't ignore obstacles but uses them as stepping stones, doesn't avoid suffering but transforms it into strength. There will be moments when you'll feel alone in this battle, moments when it will seem that no one understands your struggle, that no one shares your vision, that no one believes in your potential as you believe. In those moments, remember, the great transformers of history rarely began with crowds supporting them. They began alone, with only their inner conviction and a call they couldn't ignore. Noah built an ark on dry land, facing ridicule from everyone around him. Abraham left everything he knew to follow a promise only he could see. Paul abandoned a respectable and secure career to follow a call that many considered madness. All of them understood a fundamental truth: the approval of the crowd was never a requirement for divine purpose. Your battle will also require perseverance, the ability to continue when everything in you wants to give up, to rise after each fall, to try again after each failure. Don't confuse perseverance with blind stubbornness or refusal to adapt. True perseverance keeps the final goal in mind, but is flexible about the path to get there. Think of a river flowing toward the ocean. When it encounters a rock, it doesn't insist on going through it. It flows around. When it encounters a mountain, it doesn't try to move it. It changes course. But it never ever gives up on reaching its destination. This is the perseverance you are called to demonstrate. And know this: as you battle, a force much greater than you is working in your favor, like an experienced general who positions troops that the soldier on the front line cannot see. The divine is orchestrating circumstances, moving people, preparing opportunities that you cannot yet perceive. Your part is to remain in the battle, to continue advancing even if it's just one step at a time, to maintain faith even when everything seems to contradict it, to sustain the vision even when others cannot see it. This is your test, and it is also your opportunity, the opportunity to prove, not to the world but to yourself, the true depth of your determination. The outcome of this battle is already determined. Victory is already guaranteed for those who refuse to abandon, who refuse to capitulate, who refuse to accept less than the divine call for their lives. This is not a vague hope or positive thinking. It is a certainty based on the immutable nature of divine purpose. The weapons you wield are not physical, but spiritual. The truth that dissipates lies, the faith that overcomes doubts, the love that conquers fear. And these weapons are invincible when wielded with sincere conviction and pure intention. Now is the time to take a stand, to draw a line in the sand and say, this far and no further, to declare both to the visible and invisible realms, I will not retreat, I will not conform, I will not accept less than my divine destiny. This declaration is not arrogance, it is a humble recognition of what you were created for. It is not presumption, it is grateful acceptance of the call placed on your life. It is not selfishness, it is submission to the greater purpose that exceeds your personal desires. The battle you face now is not just for you, it is for all those who will be impacted when you fully walk in your purpose. It is for the lives that will be transformed, the hearts that will be touched, the minds that will be renewed through your testimony and your example. Therefore, declare now with faith, my blessing has already arrived. This is not an empty affirmation or wishful thinking. It is an alignment with the spiritual reality that precedes physical manifestation. It is a declaration that you see beyond the present moment, beyond current circumstances, beyond temporary limitations, and recognize the eternal truth of your destiny. It is here, it is now. The moment for which your soul has been yearning, the instant that justifies all previous trials, the turning point that transforms your story. Transformation is not something distant on the horizon. It is happening at this exact moment, as these words find echo in your spirit. Can you feel it? That subtle change in the atmosphere around you, that growing lightness within you, that clarity that begins to dissipate the fog of confusion. It's not your imagination, it's real, it's tangible. It's the manifest aligning with the spiritual. The invisible chains that have kept you bound are breaking, link by link. Can you hear the metallic sound as they fall to the ground? The walls that have blocked your progress are crumbling, brick by brick. Can you see the light entering through the ever-widening cracks? The paths that seemed forever closed are opening before your eyes. Doors you tried to open for years, knocking until your fists hurt, now fling open without effort. What was impossible yesterday becomes not just possible, but inevitable today. This transformation is not just external, it is first and foremost internal. You are changing from the inside out. Your perception is being refined, your understanding is being expanded, your consciousness is being elevated to a new level of existence. What before seemed an insurmountable mountain now reveals itself as a small hill you can easily overcome. What before seemed an insoluble problem now shows itself as a disguised opportunity, waiting to deliver its hidden treasures. What before caused terror now generates excitement, not because the situation has changed, but because you have changed. Like the prodigal son who finally found the way back home, you are reconnecting with your true identity. Like the lost sheep that was found by the shepherd, you are being carried back to the place of safety and provision. Like the valuable coin that was hidden in the dust, your true shine is being restored. Your faith is strengthening, not as a result of favorable circumstances, but as the cause of a new reality that is manifesting. It is a faith that doesn't depend on what your eyes can see, but on what your spirit knows to be true. But beware, the silent danger still lurks. It is at this critical moment, when transformation is in full swing, that the forces of doubt, fear, and the old mentality will fight most fiercely to regain control. Like a virus that becomes more aggressive when the antibiotic begins to work, resistance intensifies when healing is near. That is why you must remain vigilant. Do not allow external voices or negative internal thoughts to interrupt what is being accomplished in you at this moment. Protect this sacred space of transformation as if you were guarding a priceless treasure, because that is exactly what you are doing. This is the moment to affirm the truth about your life, not as you see it now, but as it is becoming. Declare the reality you wish to experience as if it were already present, because in the spiritual realm, the realm from which all physical manifestation flows, it already exists. You are no longer sick. You are walking in perfect health. You are no longer broken. You are thriving in all areas. You are no longer confused. You have clear direction and defined purpose. You are no longer lonely. You are surrounded by healthy and nourishing relationships. You are no longer stagnant. You are continuously growing and expanding. These are not empty affirmations or psychological tricks. They are declarations aligned with your true nature, with your divine destiny. with the purpose for which you were created. They are the echo of the eternal truth that resonates through time and space to find you exactly where you are. And when you speak these words, when you think these thoughts, when you visualize this reality, something physical happens. Your biochemistry changes. Your neural patterns reorganize. Your vibrational frequency rises. You literally become a different person, cell by cell, thought by thought, choice by choice. Have you already noticed changes happening? Synchronicities increasing in your life? Casual encounters that seem perfectly orchestrated? Insights that arise exactly when needed? Opportunities that appear as if they were waiting for the perfect moment to reveal themselves? None of this is coincidence. None of this is luck. It is the direct result of your changing frequency, your expanded consciousness, your transformed inner reality that now attracts a corresponding outer reality. Like a newly energized magnet attracts metal with renewed strength, you are attracting people, opportunities, and experiences that resonate with your new level of being. And at the same time, you are naturally repelling what no longer serves your highest good, what no longer aligns with your purpose, what no longer contributes to your evolution. Perhaps you have already observed relationships changing, some deepening, others naturally dissolving. Perhaps you are noticing different interests emerging, new books catching your attention, new conversations awakening your curiosity, new activities attracting your energy. Perhaps you are experiencing changes in your body, a sensation of lightness, a mental clarity, a vitality you haven't felt in a long time. All of this is part of the transformation. All of this is evidence of the divine work being done in and through you, and this is just the beginning. Imagine transformation as concentric waves expanding from a stone thrown into a lake. The stone, the initial catalyst, was the moment you responded to the call. The first wave was your inner awakening. The second was the battle you faced and continue to face. And now, the third wave is spreading. The transformation that affects not just you, but everything and everyone around you. And just as the waves in the lake continue long after the stone disappears beneath the surface, the transformation that began in you will continue to expand, touching lives you will never know, influencing circumstances you will never see, creating a legacy that will last far beyond your time on this earth. This is the magnitude of what is happening now. This is the importance of your yes to the divine call. This is the reason why every test, every challenge, every obstacle was and continues to be worth it. Allow yourself to experience the fullness of this transformation. Don't resist it with doubts or diminish it with skepticism. Don't limit it with expectations based on the past or confine it with definitions based on the world. Open yourself completely to the unknown, to the unexpected, to the miracle that is unfolding in your life. Nature teaches us about transformation. The caterpillar doesn't resist the cocoon, even when its entire being is being undone and remade. The seed doesn't fight against the dark soil, even when its shell is breaking to give way to a new form. The seasons don't resist change, even when entire landscapes are being redesigned. And just as the butterfly emerges, as the plant sprouts, as spring blooms, you are emerging into a fuller, more authentic, more powerful expression of who you really are. It's not so much a transformation as it is a revelation, the unveiling of what has always been there, waiting for the right moment to manifest. Now, in this sacred moment of transformation, all that is needed is your conscious participation, your active acceptance, your continual yes, your willingness to let go of the old and embrace the new, to die to what was and be born to what will be, to close one chapter and begin another. Do you feel it? The change is already happening. The miracle is already in progress. The transformation is already occurring. It's not something you need to fight for or conquer. It's something you simply need to allow, something with which you need to cooperate, something you need to embrace. And as you surrender to this divine process, as you align with this transformative force, as you say yes to what is being born within and through you, resistance diminishes, pain subsides, the struggle ends. What seemed difficult becomes natural. What seemed impossible becomes inevitable. What seemed distant becomes immediate. This is the moment, this is the now. This is the transformation that your soul has been waiting for, that your spirit has been yearning for which your entire journey until now has prepared you. If you feel that your change has begun now, comment, "I am ready to live the new." This is not just a response to a text. It is a pact with your destiny, a commitment to your evolution, a declaration to the universe that you are conscious and participatory in the divine process that is unfolding in your life. Contemplate now what unfolds before your spiritual eyes. Victory. Not a distant or uncertain victory, but a tangible, palpable, present reality. What was promised is being fulfilled. What was prophesied is materializing. What was sown in tears is being harvested in jubilation. You have already crossed the threshold, already traversed the abyss, already surpassed the point of no return. The old version of you, limited by fear, bound by doubt, defined by past experiences, no longer exists. In its place, a new creation emerges, resplendent with purpose, radiant with possibilities, invested with authority to walk on a completely new level. See your life as it truly is now, a vast and fertile field, ready to produce an abundant harvest. The seeds of faith you planted in moments of uncertainty, the tears of perseverance you shed in times of trial, the declarations of truth you proclaimed, even when everything seemed to contradict them, all of this now flourishes before your eyes. The doors that previously seemed locked have not just opened, they have been completely removed from their hinges. There are no more barriers, only thresholds, no more obstacles, only opportunities, no more dead ends, only new beginnings. The light no longer appears in occasional flashes or distant rays. Now it floods every area of your life with resplendent clarity. Like the sun that not only illuminates, but also warms, nurtures, and gives life, this divine light not only reveals the path, but also provides the energy to travel it, the courage to explore it, the wisdom to navigate it. You are experiencing a seismic shift in the structure of your reality. What was impossible yesterday is now not only possible, but inevitable. What was distant is now within reach. What seemed an impossible dream now manifests as your new normality. The promises you grasped by faith when everything seemed to contradict them are now visible, tangible, experienceable. Like Abraham, who waited decades for the promise of a son, you now hold in your arms the manifestation of what was declared. Like the Israelites, who wandered in the desert for 40 years before entering the promised land, you now step on fertile and abundant soil. This is a land of milk and honey, a land of supernatural provision and divine sweetness, a land where your needs are not just met, but exceeded, where your desires are not just recognized, but fulfilled, where your gifts are not just activated, but magnified to impact lives beyond those you can see or count. The battle was not in vain. The struggle was worth it. The price you paid, in tears shed, in sleepless nights, in courage to face your deepest fears, was not a waste. It was an investment that now yields dividends beyond what you could imagine or dream. Like the farmer who works tirelessly during seasons of preparation, planting and cultivation, only to be rewarded with an abundant harvest that erases the memory of all the hard work, you now reap the fruits of your faithfulness, of your persistence, of your refusal to give up when everything indicated you should. See the miracles unfolding in your life, not just one or two, but a continuous cascade of divine interventions, celestial synchronicities, supernatural provisions. And each miracle is not an end in itself, but a sign pointing to a greater truth. Your life has been fundamentally altered, your destiny irrevocably established, your purpose divinely confirmed. This victory is not temporary or conditional. It is permanent and absolute. It is not like the victories of this world, which can be lost as quickly as they are gained. It is a victory sealed in heaven, recorded in eternity, established by the immutable word that transcends time and space. But even as you celebrate this victory, a new journey has already begun. Because you were not just liberated from the slavery of the past, you were liberated for the purpose of the future. You were not just healed from yesterday's wounds, you were empowered for tomorrow's call. You were not just rescued from what was destroying you, You were commissioned for what you will build. This new journey is higher than the previous one. You are operating from a new level of authority, taking possession of a new spiritual territory, accessing a new dimension of power and purpose. Like an eagle that finally discovers the updraft and effortlessly rises above the storms, you have now found the divine flow that takes you to heights that previously seemed unreachable. Look back only enough to recognize how far you've come, to appreciate the path you've traveled, to honor the lessons you've learned. But don't linger your gaze on the past. It served its purpose, but it is not your destiny. Your gaze now must fix itself on the expansive horizon that stretches before you, on the mountains yet to be conquered, on the promises yet to be manifested. This new journey will not be without challenges, but they are challenges of a different nature. They are no longer the challenges of survival, but of flourishing. No longer the challenges of lack, but of managing abundance. No longer the challenges of finding your way, but of guiding others to theirs. And just as you received help in your hour of need, now you are called to extend a hand to those who still struggle in the shadows you left behind. Just as you were encouraged when your faith wavered, now it's your turn to strengthen others whose steps are still hesitant. Just as light was brought to your darkness, now you become a bearer of that light for those who still grope in the darkness. This is the divine cycle of blessing, receiving to be able to give, being healed to be able to heal, being liberated to be able to liberate, being transformed to be able to transform. You are not the final recipient of the blessings that flow into your life. You are a channel through which they can reach a world desperate for hope, for truth, for genuine love. In your new position, you will see opportunities that were previously hidden. Doors will open without you needing to knock. People will be drawn to your life. People who share your vision, who amplify your gifts, who complement your abilities. Like pieces of a divine puzzle, you will fit together to form a greater image than anyone could create alone. Be sensitive to these divine connections. Not everyone in your path is destined to walk with you. Some are sent for a season, others for a specific reason, and a few for the entire journey. Discernment will be necessary to recognize who is who, to honor the purpose of each encounter, without trying to force relationships beyond their divine designation. In your new journey, you will discover gifts you didn't know you possessed, talents that were dormant, abilities that were latent, just waiting for the right moment to manifest. Like fruit that ripens only in the appropriate season, these aspects of who you are were waiting for the perfect time to emerge. There are people who are destined to be impacted specifically by you, by your unique story, by your specific combination of gifts, by your particular expression of wisdom and truth. They may receive from others, but there is something in you that resonates with something in them in a way that no one else can replicate. That's why your authenticity is so crucial in this new phase. Don't try to be a copy of someone else, no matter how much you admire their gifts or success. Don't dilute your unique message to make it more palatable or less distinctive. Don't diminish your brightness to accommodate those who prefer the penumbra. The world doesn't need more imitations. It needs the genuine expression of who you were created to be. Your voice, not an echo of other voices. Your message, not a repetition of other messages. Your light, not a reflection of other lights. Visualize your victory, not just as a past event, but as a continuous state, an expanding reality, a progressive manifestation. Each morning upon awakening, renew this vision. Each night before sleeping, give thanks for its continued realization. Each moment between these extremes, live from this established truth. See yourself already in possession of what was promised. See yourself already operating in the gifts that were prophesied. See yourself already impacting the lives that were destined to cross your path. This is not fantasy or positive thinking. It is alignment with the spiritual reality that precedes and produces physical manifestation. The victory you experience now is just the beginning. Like waves that expand when a stone is thrown into a lake, the transformation that began in you will continue to expand, touching family, friends, communities, nations, yes, even generations yet to come. The legacy you are building cannot be measured only by the immediate impact, but by its multiplying effect through time. And in all this process, remember, you are not creating your destiny. You are discovering it. You are not inventing your purpose. You are aligning with it. You are not generating your own power. You are connecting to the inexhaustible source that has always been available, just waiting for your recognition and receptivity. It's like a river that already flows. You don't need to create the water or generate the current. You just need to position your boat in the flow and allow it to carry you. Your part is to stay in the river, adjust the sails as necessary, and enjoy the journey as the destination reveals itself, curve after curve. Lift your eyes and contemplate the horizon that stretches before you, vast, abundant, full of possibilities that exceed your boldest imagination. This is your moment, your hour, your designated time to shine with unmistakable light, to release a celestial fragrance, to manifest a unique expression of the divine that can only come through you. If you have received this word in your heart, write, "My victory is certain." This declaration is not just for the human eyes that may read it. It is a proclamation to the visible and invisible realms, a landmark in time and space, a testimony of your conscious acceptance of the irrevocable destiny that was established for your life since before the foundation of the world. We have reached the culminating moment of this prophetic journey, the point where revelation meets responsibility, where inspiration transforms into action, where the spoken word becomes the lived word. This is not the end. It is the true beginning of your new reality. Everything that has been revealed to you throughout these words was not given simply to momentarily elevate your spirit or to provide a brief escape from everyday reality. It was shared as a map to a new way of living, as a compass to guide your steps, as a key to unlock doors that have been locked for so long. Now comes the most sacred, most significant, most transformative moment, the moment of decision. Not a decision made only with the intellect, easily forgotten when the winds of adversity blow, but a decision rooted in the deepest part of your being, sealed in your soul, established in your spirit. Or close your eyes now and imagine your transformed life. Visualize each area, your health, your relationships, your finances, your career, your purpose, your spiritual connection, completely aligned with the vision that was planted in your heart. Imagine your mind light, free from worries that previously burdened it. See your heart at peace, healed from wounds that once limited you. Feel your soul renewed, vibrating in harmony with your divine purpose. Breathe deeply and feel that energy. Feel the reality of that transformation already underway. This is not just a visualization, exercise. It is an act of faith that aligns your inner being with the truth that transcends temporary circumstances. It is a moment of communion with the eternal, an instant of synchronization with the divine, a point of fusion between the temporal and the infinite. The silent danger that has been by your side all this time is now exposed in its entirety. The temptation to hear without acting, to know without applying, to see without moving toward what is seen. It is the illusion that mere understanding is sufficient, that intellectual comprehension equals real transformation, that emotional approval substitutes practical implementation. Against this danger, there is only one effective defense: deliberate, conscious, and immediate action. Not action based on momentary impulse, easily abandoned when the initial enthusiasm fades, but action rooted in deep conviction, in unshakable certainty, in determination that persists even when feelings fluctuate. The time for passive contemplation has passed. The time for theoretical analysis has ended. The time for philosophical speculation has expired. Now is the time for decisive movement, for concrete steps, for tangible changes that outwardly manifest the transformation that has already occurred inwardly. This action need not appear grandiose to be profound in impact. It need not be visible to others to be significant for your path. It need not be validated by the world to be valuable in the spiritual realm. Often the most transformative steps are those taken quietly in the secret chambers of the heart, known only to you and the divine. Perhaps your step is to forgive someone who deeply hurt you, releasing not just that person, but primarily yourself, from the chains of resentment. Perhaps it is abandoning a habit that has sabotaged your progress, unconsciously keeping you tied to old and limiting patterns. Perhaps it is initiating a daily practice that nourishes your spirit, that strengthens your connection with the divine, that aligns your being with your true nature. Or perhaps it is something more tangible, more visible. That difficult conversation. You have been postponing that calculated risk your heart knows you should take, that completely new direction that has been calling your name even when logic suggests staying with the familiar. Whatever the specific action is for you, know this. It has already been planted in your heart. You already know what you need to do. It is not something that needs to be discovered outside of you, but something that needs to be recognized within you. The wisdom you seek does not come from more information, but from greater attention to what already resonates as truth in your deepest being. And when you act from this place of internal alignment, something extraordinary happens. The entire universe seems to collaborate with your efforts. Doors unexpectedly open. Resources appear at the exact moment of need. People emerge to offer exactly the support, guidance, or opportunity that you need. This is not random coincidence or blind luck. It is the spiritual law of attraction and manifestation operating exactly as designed. When you move in harmony with your divine purpose, when your steps are aligned with your authentic destiny, when your actions flow from your true identity, the forces of creation respond in kind, magnifying your efforts, expanding your impact, multiplying your results. Your action also serves as a declaration, not just to the world around you, but to the invisible realms that influence visible reality. It is a proclamation of your intention not just to know the truth, but to live it. Not just to recognize your call, but to respond to it. Not just to glimpse your destiny, but to walk it with unshakable determination. And as you act, remember, perfection is not the goal. Progress is. Do not wait until you feel completely ready, until all doubts have been dispelled, until all conditions seem ideal. If you wait for these moments, you may wait forever. The readiness you seek does not come before action, but through it. It's like learning to swim. You cannot master the technique by studying books about swimming or by watching others swim. At some point, you need to enter the water. And it is in the element of water, not in the safety of the shore, that you truly learn to swim. Similarly, it is in movement, in action, in doing, that you truly learn to live in your new identity. It is by implementing what you've understood that understanding deepens. It is by applying what you've received that the capacity to receive more expands. It is by giving what you have that you discover how much more you possess. Each step, however small it may seem, builds momentum. Like a snowball that starts small at the top of the mountain but grows as it descends, your initial actions may seem insignificant, but they carry within them the potential for transformative impacts that exceed your current capacity to imagine. Another fundamental truth about action: it breaks the power of paralysis. Many remain trapped not by external chains, but by internal indecision, by fear disguised as prudence, by analysis taken to the extreme of paralysis. A single, decisive step, even if imperfect, has the power to break the spell of inaction and release a flow of energy that has been dammed up for too long. Do not underestimate either the power of example. Your action not only impacts your reality, it serves as a living testimony, as tangible proof, as undeniable evidence for others who observe your journey, perhaps in silence, perhaps at a distance, seeking courage to begin their own transformations. Like when a single bird begins to fly and suddenly the entire flock rises into the air, your decision to act can catalyze changes that extend far beyond your immediate sphere of influence. There are people waiting, consciously or unconsciously, for your courage to activate their own courage, for your movement to inspire their own movement, for your transformation to believe that transformation is also possible for them. This is a crucial element of your purpose: to be a signal for others, a beacon amid darkness, a living example that what seems impossible can become reality when aligned with the eternal truth that transcends temporary limitations. But beware, the path will not always be linear. There will be days of crystal clarity and days of dense fog. There will be moments of accelerated progress and periods of apparent stagnation. There will be peaks of elevated inspiration and valleys of disconcerting aridity. This is not failure or backsliding. It is the very rhythm of authentic spiritual journey. Like breathing that naturally alternates between inhaling and exhaling, like seasons that cyclically move between growth and rest, your journey will have its own cycles, its own phases, its own rhythms. Wisdom lies in recognizing the present moment and working with it, not against it. In moments of abundance, harvest generously, celebrate openly, share freely. In moments of scarcity, dig deeper, seek more intensely, trust more fully. Each phase has its purpose, each season its lesson, each experience its wisdom to be extracted. Never forget, you are participating in a work that exceeds your current vision. Like a craftsman working on a single segment of an immense stained glass window, you may not see how your part connects to the whole, but each piece placed with care, each color applied with intention, each detail executed with excellence contributes to a masterpiece whose complete grandeur will only be revealed with time. This perspective liberates you from the crushing pressure of having to understand everything, control everything, accomplish everything at once. Your responsibility is not for the entire work. It is for your specific part, your unique contribution, your irreplaceable role. And when you faithfully fulfill this role, the whole develops with a perfection that transcends what any individual could orchestrate alone. Now, as we approach the conclusion of this prophetic message, I want you to know this is not an end, but a beginning, not a conclusion, but an inauguration, not a final destination, but a portal to unexplored territories of your existence. The words shared here are seeds, seeds of truth, seeds of transformation, seeds of divine destiny. Some will germinate immediately, producing visible fruits in a matter of days or weeks. Others will remain dormant for a time, waiting for the right season, the adequate conditions, the divine timing to emerge. Some of these words will make sense immediately, resonating with a truth that you already recognize in your spirit. Others will seem enigmatic, mysterious, beyond your current understanding, but they have been planted for a future time when events yet to occur, experiences yet to be lived, revelations yet to be received will make their meaning crystal clear. This is why you are encouraged to revisit this message periodically, to allow these words to be revisited by your spirit in different phases of your journey. Like a map that reveals different details depending on the traveler's position, this message will reveal different levels of meaning, different layers of application, different dimensions of truth as you advance on your path. The silent danger. That is by your side. That warning from the beginning is now fully exposed. It is the complacency that follows revelation, the inertia that succeeds inspiration, the hesitation that accompanies clarity. It is the internal adversary that whispers tomorrow when the moment is today, that murmurs maybe. When the answer is yes, that insinuates impossible, when the truth is, it is already done. That danger loses its power when you decide to act. Not with frantic action based on fear, but with deliberate movement rooted in conviction. Not with desperate effort originating in anxiety, but with confident steps born of certainty. Not with dispersed activity that dissipates energy, but with intentional focus that amplifies impact. The choice stands before you. As in all truly transformative moments, there is no neutral option. Either you advance toward your divine destiny, or you retreat to the comfort of the familiar. Either you embrace the new identity that has been revealed, or you cling to the old definition that no longer serves. Either you accept the call to elevation, or you choose to remain at the current level. May your decision be made not from the fear of making mistakes, but from love of the truth. Not from anxiety about the future, but from confidence in divine guidance. Not from concern with external judgments, but from fidelity to the voice of wisdom that resonates within you. And always remember, you are not alone on this journey. The same presence that inspired these words walks with you every step. The same light that illuminated this path continues to shine even in the darkest passages. The same love that called you to this destiny sustains you as you pursue it. There is an invisible army marching by your side. There are celestial forces working in your favor. There is a divine plan unfolding with perfect precision, in perfect time for the perfect purpose, and you are an integral part of this plan. As we conclude, I want you to receive this final blessing. May your eyes be opened to see what others do not see. May your ears be sensitized to hear what others do not hear. May your heart be expanded to contain what others could not bear. May your mind be elevated to understand what others do not reach. May you walk in the fullness of your calling, in the certainty of your purpose, in the complete expression of your gifts. May you impact every life that crosses your path with the truth that liberates, with the love that transforms, with the hope that sustains. May you leave a legacy that resonates through generations, an influence that transcends your time on earth, an impact that continues to multiply long after your journey here is complete. And now, as a final act of cooperation with this prophetic word, as a seal upon the commitment you make today with your divine destiny, as a declaration of your intention to live from this new reality, share this message with someone who needs to hear this today. Not just for them, but also for you. Because by sharing, you declare your belief. By giving, you position yourself to receive even more. By sowing in another life, you guarantee an abundant harvest in your own. This is your moment. This is your hour. This is your designated time. Heaven watches. Eternity awaits. Destiny calls. The response is yours.